The seamless blend of the music into the world around it, the absence of its own traditional cadence in specific sequences, and how the music captures and amplifies the scene's specific narrative setting. It's these things that made me absolutely fall in love with ULTRAKILL soundtrack. Also because I'm a sucker for breakcore, but that's aside the point. The Earth Movers warning sirens being integrated with the song itself, the silence that's suddenly broken by altars of apostasy and heresy, and Limbo's distorted piano reminding you that you're still in hell being some examples of those points respectively. Out of all of the layers, out of all of the enemies, out of everything this game has to offer in terms of its soundtrack, the unequivocal winner in my eyes has to be... Wrong one! There we go. Alongside the fact that V2 and her interactions with V1 are the most textbook examples of doomdery I could think of. This will be apparent as you continue the video. V2 is no doubt one of the best examples of what ULTRAKILL has to offer in terms of its music and soundtrack. If I could just touch lips with the concept of a song, this would be one of them, okay? Maybe alongside any song from Tedo Kasane. I'm getting sidetracked. So I wanted to share my thoughts on it and maybe give you a new perspective on V2 through her music. Now, just a heads up, the only experience I have with music is 10 years of Drumline. No, not that. This Drumline. I played the tenor drum, so the only notes I really know are these 5 or 6, and the only way I'm able to describe certain phrases is by mouthing them out. If you're friends with a drummer, you'll know exactly what I mean, but just in case you don't, it'll sound a little something like this. Anyways, I also played this guy's videos on repeat, so I'm like basically a music theory expert. If anyone knows who this guy is, props to you. And you should be my friend. So take everything with a grain of salt, and let's go. In order to really understand the brilliance of verses, let me set the scene real quick. I'm not a voice actor, what am I doing? On your way, traversing lower and lower down Limbo, you have come quite accustomed to this serene setting, with the radiant and melancholic track. But you're still aware of your surroundings, knowing at any moment it could take a complete 180. As you proceed, you see pieces of a story the game tries to portray. You learn about a person named Gabriel and start your search for the 3 heads while being enveloped by the music. Then... you get so distracted, so immersed with the lore, so engrossed with the music that you forget. This is the last level of Limbo. There's a boss coming up. Something wicked. No, not that thing! Something dangerous is right around the corner. And this interaction only reminds you of where you are and the danger you're actually in. You proceed, then realizing you can just break the glass above, and then... oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, there are so many things I want to talk about right now, but I have to cut this area in sections, alright? Let's start here. These 4 bars are everywhere in the song, like everywhere. And it's by design. Not only is this, again, a banger, oh my god, it has a purpose. It's to engrave this and V2 herself directly into your head. This is V2's leitmotif. Just in case people don't know, a leitmotif is a recurrent theme throughout a musical or literary composition associated with a particular person, idea, situation, setting, whatever. And leitmotifs are everywhere in gaming. You have Toriel's, for instance, from Undertale, symbolizing the character herself. You have Pokemon's... one of my favorite motifs is from Splatoon, and it's called Onward. It's basically that wham 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 wham, or wham 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 wham, or bum 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 bum, subconsciously pushing you to move forward throughout the level. And finally, you have West Side Story's conflict motif. Nope, wait, sorry, wrong genre, but you get the point. These 4 bars of bass guitar are exactly what this is, but for V2. This is her song. This is her fight, and she is fighting you. The 2 synths that play for the 8 bars before going back to the repeated leitmotif creates a two-way harmony with one another, portraying the interaction between V1 and V2 pretty well. Now again, for this next part, I'm not an expert, I'm going purely by vibes, alright? And Music Nuts should tell me if I'm wrong, or if this resonates with you in any way. Say it did, so it boosts my ego. Both seem to be ascending before suddenly dropping, with one darting forward while the other scrambles to catch up. But just before the lead's run concludes, it feels as though the chasing synth not only catches up, but carves its own melodic path by using fragments borrowed from the other with this 16th note pickup phrase. Similar to how the player themselves is slowly but surely catching up and understanding V2's own movements. The longer the interaction is with her, the more you understand. And going back to the melodies themselves, the ascension and sudden drop that's used in both phrases gives a sense of curiosity and melancholy during its accent. Then grounding me back to reality when it suddenly drops. Like the song itself is telling me, stop asking questions. You need to survive this encounter and win. Nothing else matters. Before not only grounding me more, but slapping me right in the face with her repeated leitmotif. Again! Again, just vibes, no justification. I'm probably just going crazy. Now for the song itself. It's heavy, it's gnarly, it's explosive. It's a boss fight. But most importantly, it's jarring and it's different. In my opinion, while the song is as intense as the songs before it, the song is entirely different in terms of how it postures itself. From the instruments it uses to even the genre shift from breakcore to a more traditional rock theme. And this posture change works in V2's favor, since she herself is also vastly different compared to what you've faced so far. Sure, you can argue that it's only different because it's a boss fight, but even so, it still serves to establish her as an entity entirely separate from everything else. And the fact that V2 acts as this big skill check in the game, people will hear this song a lot on their first run. Yes, we listened to this song so many times because we died to her multiple times. We died 23 times. But it's not only the motif that's repetitive. The whole song is hyphy, it's grimy, it's brutal, but most importantly, it's repetitive. It's making sure that you remember her. Honestly, this whole fight reminds me of someone. No, God, please. No, stay back. Stay back. Stop! Get away! The more similarities I try to find between Versus and Megalovania, the more I see, and I'll be honest, I'm getting PTSD. Going off topic, for people that haven't joined my streams, I have a redeem that forces me to fight Sans no matter what I'm doing. I probably fight him like an average of 5 times per stream, but who's counting? 2. Big fast chuckle nuts! Oh my fucking God. Alright. I'm not playing this boss ever, chat. I'm never playing this boss. I'm never playing this fucking boss, dude. I'm never ever playing this boss. Repetitive motifs, repetitive melodies. Both characters are the big bad boss of their respective games. It's a boss that we've lost to more than 15 times. It's a theme that's jarring and sudden given their setting. And it's a song that's expected to be listened to multiple times on your first run. But the main difference between the two are their reasons for being too repetitive. In Undertale, it's meant more as a means to tell the player, this is the last fight you must overcome. Just one more kill and you'll win. The whole OST in Undertale is also meant to loop, but that's aside the point. For Versus, however, it's for a different reason. Listen to the last 2 bars of her leitmotif. To reiterate, a leitmotif doesn't have to end. It's simply just a phrase that is associated with a thing, place, idea, emotion, whatever. Alright, cool. So now listen to the actual ending of the song. Something is off. Like, something is missing. There's no resolution. But in line with ULTRAKILL and V2's story as a whole, it's by design. It's because the fight itself isn't finished. It isn't complete. There's no resolution. You didn't finish her off. The song itself isn't over. This fight isn't over. You know there's a boss fight here. It's the last level of the layer. It's basically completely silent. You just don't know what it's going to be. The music starts to kick in with the same desert effects you've been accustomed to hearing this whole greed layer. And then you hear it again. And now you know exactly who it is. As you traverse further into the pyramid, you see V2 sitting on a golden throne in the most bisexual pose I've ever seen. But something is different. There's no cordial act, there's no courteous gesture, there's no fake civility. She cracks what I assume are her connecting joints, and the fight starts. Oh, it's so good! Fuck! Oh my god. Left! Shut up. You're getting distracted. Lock in. Alright, I'm good. The Reprise of Verses, or Duel, screams this is the end. Not of the game, but of V2. This is your last shot to finish her off. But you have to remember, this is V2's song. It sounds desperate and frantic with its piano synths. It's furious, it's aggressive, but most importantly, it's angry. And the chords at the beginning throughout the song after the intro only solidifies it, going lower and lower and lower and lower. Then slowly rises, only to be put back in leitmotif hell. But let's go back to the theme at hand. This is the end of Verses and the end of V2. And I think it does this in one major way. Alright, I'm excited. Do you know why? Because this part is my area of expertise, baby. Oh my god. I actually know what I'm kind of talking about. I'm pretty excited to show off my musical prowess that I haven't used in 2 years. Wow, I kind of wasted those 10 years. Let's go! First, I want you to listen to this phrase in the song. Now, keep that in the back of your mind while I show you some drumline clips I really like. I'll give you a second to figure out what the similarities are. Alright, time's up. I'm too excited. They all feel or are the end of a phrase in some way. A really easy and simple way to do this in drumming is like this. With an 8th or 16th note pickup, with what is usually a quarter note or more phrases at the end of that. And no matter what I do here, it will sound like it's ending. Watch. Where's my metronome? Let me get my met out. I don't know if you guys can hear this on the mic. But here, just listen to this real quick. Buh. Duh, duh. Or listen to this. Dun. Duh, dun. Alright, now let's pick it up a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Let's pick it up by just a little bit. Watch. See? Pretty easy. That was a pretty, simple level rate. Hell, all I really gotta do is this. Dun. Now, this is not the end-all be-all of ending phrases. There are plenty of other ways to make something feel like it's ending. But what I am trying to say is, in terms of polyrhythms, this is one of the really easy ways to subconsciously make people think that a certain song or a certain phrase is going to end. or in this case, a character. Now let's go back and listen to that phrase from Duel again. This is the end. And the song is constantly reminding you with this single phrase. And you hear it most blatantly here. But it's not just here. Try listening to Duel yourself with, I don't know, this phrase I made. It may not be exactly the same, but it's damn near close. And once you hear it, it's everywhere in the song. Like, more than her leitmotif, which is so fitting given the conclusion of this fight. But for now, let's stop talking about the music. Let's go back to that fight. The music swells, and as V2 attempts to escape, you tell yourself, you're not getting away this time. You jump after her. You know this is the end. And as you slide down the pyramid, you know this is it. This is her last attempt to live. This desperate yet futile flee from her outdated counterpart. And as you finish her off, there it is. There's the resolving ending note of Verses, with it booming as the song climaxes. And as you pick up the last of her remains, you notice another. It's in her leitmotif. Slowly fading into obscurity as you proceed lower into hell. Then you get an instant replay of beating her ass live. You guys already know what I'm gonna do, chat. Let's see that instant replay one more time. Let's see that instant replay one more time, chat. Let's run it back. Oh my god, wait, did I do something? I knocked him down. Don't know how I did it. I'm assuming I gave his coin back. He runs away like the bitch he is, okay? You're not getting away this time. I know what the V stands for. I know what the V stands for, chat. Very, very bad, okay? Very, very bad. Oh, I wanna see him just splat like a gnat on my neck, dude. Yeah! Yeah! I want to see him splat. I want to see him splat on the floor. Let's go! The seamless blend of the music into the world around it, its absence of its own traditional cadence in specific sequences, and how the music captures and amplifies the scene's specific narrative setting. Both songs check out all of these points. The first interaction in Limbo solidifies her presence by breaking the original cadence in Limbo and introducing a theme that is not only jarring compared to the rest of the songs you've been accustomed to, but also tells the player that this boss is one that's not to be messed with. So much so that you forget the serene setting you're in, making the entire layer of Limbo itself all about her. Her reintroduction only swells as you traverse higher up the pyramid. Her theme is not only revamped with a more aggressive tone that matches V2's mindset, but almost blends together with the instrumentals you've been familiarizing yourself throughout the entire layer of Greed. But combine these songs together as if they were one song, and it only amplifies both of their impacts. In Limbo, V2's motif is seamlessly welded into your brain, ensuring you are aware of her presence at any given time regardless of the layer you're on. After her first defeat, you almost forget the entire interaction and how it truly didn't end. You forget about her for 3 layers until you hear it again deep within the pyramid. And the Reprise solidifies its conclusion by evolving the repetitive nature you heard in Limbo into a furious, unyielding climax, tying V2's journey in a neat little bow, splattered across the pavement. And all these points only solidify how V2 and V1 are the most textbook examples of doomed Yuri I've ever seen in gaming history, okay? Do you guys see the vision? Do you read some Yuri, read some feminist literature, read some Yuri? That's the message of this video. Thank you. I don't have an outro. Okay, bye.